Okay, so now to create any scene with different images, I'm going to start with my first main image. This image is quite large. It currently is showing at 50%, so I'm going to check it to see where I want it to be. I'm going to create this image at 1024 by 768. So I'm going to try 1024 wide. My height 768 has not been accomplished, so I know that this part, the 1024, is going to be larger. So I'm going to put this at 768. One number of the two must be exact, and the other one can be exact or larger in our situation. So I tried 1024 over here and it was too small on the height. So I moved the height to 768 and then the width got larger. That's completely fine. I click OK. I'm going to increase the size to 80% and see, okay, looks like we might be able to go to 100% and not be off the screen. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to build my entire image. Now, some of the pictures might look good. Some of them might look great. Some of them might be questionable. So if you have ones that don't look good, make sure you try to download a new one and then work from there. All right, so I'm going to take my first image. I have this one always here because I'm just going to start to build the layers. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up one by one my other beach pictures. So I got this person here running. What I like to do is I like to click and take out this picture. Okay, I'm going to look at the size first to see how big it is. So image size, 290 by 174. It's probably not going to take up a lot of space, but I'll see later if it needs to. If it was thousands, I would totally shrink it down to somewhere around this size. Okay, but for right now, I'm good with this size. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to work to get rid of everything around her. So I have her as my background. Okay, so I'm going to go into the different tools. I'm going to use my magic wand tool first. There are many different ways to extract an image from a file. We're going to have multiple different ways to do it just on our YouTube channel alone. So the first thing I try is I'm going to just click and I'm going to see what happens. Okay, so I'm seeing like different things and I'm getting different areas. Now I'm holding down Shift on my keyboard and I am selecting different areas. I'm going to leave her shadow for the time being. So it looks like I got a lot of these parts taken out. Maybe right here, I want to get rid of that over there, which is totally okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to select and I'm going to select the inverse. So what's going to happen is it's going to take everything that we have highlighted and it's going to go the other way and try to grab the image. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this. So Command C on a Mac, Control C on a PC, or I just go to Edit and Copy. Now my next step is I'm going to make a new file. So Control N on a Mac, or Control N on a PC, Command N on a Mac. Oh, sorry, made a mistake there. When I go to create that new one, I'm going to create it with transparency because I'm going to be putting this on something and I want to clean it all the way up. I'm going to split the two images, going to click on the new image, and I'm going to paste my image in. Okay, at this point, I feel pretty good with my image. I'm going to close the original one because I don't need to do anything with it anymore. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase a little bit. So I'm going to find, let's see, where's my erase tool on this now? Here it is, eraser tool. And I see there are some areas that I can already see stuff happening. Here's some over here, but for the most part, I'm pretty clean. I see her shadow, looks good. So I'm happy with that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is again, I'm going to take my magic wand. This computer is a little bit slow. I'm going to click this area and I'm going to see if I have anything left. Oh, look, I missed those two little pieces there. They probably weren't that big of a deal. That's probably why I didn't see them. Okay. So then I'm going to do my inverse. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. Inverse, I feel pretty good. I don't think that's going to be a problem. So what I'm going to do again, I'm going to copy it. So Control C or Command C or Edit, Copy. And then now all I'm going to do is take my Move tool, which is this first one. I'm going to click and drag, and I'm going to try to bring her off. All right. So here we go. I have her. As we see right now, okay, I'm not getting rid of this one until I'm happy with what I have here. She looks kind of big, right? Okay. So if I clicked on her layer, I could work on shrinking her. Okay. Let's see. So I can make her smaller. I'm holding down Command or Control, and I am just dragging her in. Then maybe I put her over there. Maybe I work with rotating her or moving her a little bit. So depending on where I am, I could now rotate the image or skew the image. So maybe just want it a little bit like that. So then when I look, it kind of looks like she's running, you know, from the beach, from the water to her stuff maybe, or I could put a couple people running. She looks angled almost, where I could say maybe that if I looked at her, I'd say, okay, I see. Maybe I'm going for, you know, that just a little bit. So now it looks like she's running across the water. Okay. I'm happy with what I have here. So I close out of this image. I do not save it because I'm done with it. Okay. So now I added this layer. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to name the layer. I'm going to name it Girl Running. So now I know. All right, so now together we will add another item, another one of our 15 items that we're going to add. I am going to grab one of my surfers. I think Beach 5 was a surfer. All right, so now I'm going to want to work with this. Now I can tell this image is large. This one came in much larger than before. But right now I'm going to just go to my first and I'm going to take my wand and I'm going to see what I have going on. Okay, hold down hold down my shift button, and I'm going to start getting inside close to him without highlighting him. And then I'll take my first extraction. See, I want to get stuff around him because I want to be able to do my inverse and keep as much of him as possible. Now we're going to be putting him in the water kind of far away, so I'm not too worried about this image. I'm not like, oh man, I got to really make it clean. So I'm going to inverse it. Still seems like I have a lot. So I'm going to try to extract it. Control C for PC users, Command C for the Mac. And then I'm going to make myself a new one. So Control N or Command N. Sorry, I thought it would still be on transparency. Pull the two apart so I can see them both in my work area. I do not want it to attach back to the main beach though. And now I'm going to hit Control V and I'm going to paste. And as we see, I got rid of the surfer. So I'm going to Control Z and undo it. And I'm going to come back to this image and see where we ran into an issue. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of it all. I'm going to hold down Shift. All right, got a little bit of it. I'm going to inverse. Control C to copy. Come over here to my new image, and I'm going to paste. Okay, I see a lot of areas where I'm good, and then other ones where I'm not yet there. So right now, I think I can just take my eraser and I can start to do some stuff. Now with my eraser tool up here, just like with all other things in Photoshop, all of my modifiers are up top. So I'm gonna bring it up at like 60 so I can start to get rid of large areas. Okay, and I'm just gonna clean up everything around it. Okay. It's a good size eraser, so I'm not having to do a lot. And then as I get closer, I will do finer touches around the surfer himself. This will then make our next extraction a little bit easier. So if I wanted to, I could increase probably to like 100. Still be okay. All right. So at this point, I'm going to take it back down. I'm going to go to about half that size, maybe 40, 45, 50. And now I'm just going to kind of, still large, and I'm going to edge around these areas. Good. Now I'm going to go even smaller because I'm going to work in here. Keep working. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the size of the image. I see some over here too on the edge of the board that's not needed. Looking pretty good. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go to, let's say, 150. All right, so now I can see a little bit better in here. I can even lower the size of this item. My tool through here. I know I cut a little bit of his arm, but I'm okay with it. Again, I'm going to shrink this picture down in size so it fits out in the water. And I'm not really too worried because once it goes kind of small, it's not going to be seen. But if you were doing something that was very fine point, sure, you're going to take a lot longer on it. But if you guys take too much time on each image, you won't get done in time. So I want to let you know that it's not too scientific what we're doing when it comes to size. Like you can see over here, we got a little bit extra, that's good. Clean up just around that hair. His arm is pretty much gone and that's okay, but when it shrinks back down, it'll be all right. So I'm gonna go back down to 50%. And I feel pretty good now with all the erasing and trimming I've done. So I'm gonna quickly go back to this and I still see stuff, but I don't think it's going to affect anything that I have. So if I don't believe it's going to affect anything, I'm not too worried. Let's see, that's good. Okay, so now I want to inverse, select, inverse, Control C to copy. Then I'm going to paste it onto my main one. And obviously at this point, it's too big right now for the main beach. So I'm going to hit Control Z or Command Z and undo. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to take my image size and I'm going to go down to about 150. Okay. So that's for the whole image. All right. So now, okay, I'll increase the size so I can see it. Good. I'll take my wand tool, wand that information, select my inverse, Control C to copy, or edit copy, or Command C on a Mac. So I come over here, I go to my tool, and I paste. All right. Now I'm happy. I like the size of it. I like the look of it. No, I don't want to worry about that. I'll get rid of my original. So now I'm just working here. No to the saving. Open this up a little bit. And now I'm going to move them out here. Okay, so what I see right now is way too big. So hold down Shift. Bring something like that. And I'm going to drop him right there, as it looks like he is now surfing. So surfer is now surfing right up on top of that wave. So at this point I have my jogger in, and if I was doing this, I would probably put some more runners in here, take an image that still only counts as one of your 15 images because we want to fill this entire thing. And then at this point, I would continue to build. I would save my image, but I'm going to do a save as, because remember, main beach is my original image. So I'm going to do a save as, and I'm going to call it main beach _1. This will be the one I know has these additions to it. Main beach, on the other hand, will stay the same. I will not save it. I will have it revert back to its original. Okay. Other things you can add to this, we can add kids playing in the sand. We can add dogs, people playing sports, a lifeguard tower, maybe a food stand, maybe a boogie board rental. Maybe you could put a couple more birds flying over here. You could have a plane with a banner. You could have a couple boats out here on the horizon. You can do a plane, you can do a hang glider, you can do a jet skier out here. All the stuff that goes along with a beach idea, water theme, this is what you're doing. You're going to create this beach scene from nothing.